So today I'm shopping for other people groceries to afford my own, and honestly I have no idea how long it will take me and how many orders I can get, because it's last week of school, and I already noticed a huge drop in orders. So let's drive and see how many orders I can get and how much I can make in one shift. So today, while I'm shopping for other people's groceries, I've been thinking a lot about survival mode versus growth mode. And I think one of the biggest differences is what survival mode shrinks your world. Your brain stops thinking long term and starts focusing only on immediate problems. You stop asking yourself, what do I want my life to look like in 5 years? And instead, you start thinking, how do I get through this week? How many orders am I going to get today? Can I cover groceries and gas? And the difficult part is what this doesn't always look dramatic from the outside. Sometimes you're still working, still functioning, still doing everything you are supposed to do. But mentally, your entire focus becomes short-term survival. I think that's what chronic uncertainty does. It pushes the brain into consistent stability mode. It stops feeling safe enough to think too far ahead. Another thing I've noticed is what survival mode can slowly take away your ability to learn and grow, even when you actually want to. And I don't think it's always laziness like people assume. Before all of this, I used to spend a little time every day learning languages, reading books, practicing piano, just things I enjoyed. And I still care about those things. But now it feels harder to actually start. It's almost like anything extra starts to feel mentally expensive. When you are constantly dealing with uncertainty, work, bills, planning, stress, your brain starts focusing only on what feels immediately necessary. Even things like hobbies or creativity can start feeling like additional mental load instead of something restorative. I've also noticed what survival mode affects how you think about the future. Not because you stop wanting things, but because your mind becomes too focused on the present to really stretch forward. When life feels unstable, planning ahead can start to feel almost unrealistic. There is this constant thought of, why am I thinking so far ahead if I'm still trying to figure out next month? And instead of thinking in years, you start thinking in days or weeks. Less, what kind of life do I want to build? And more, how do I get through this week? And it's not what the dreams disappear, they just get quieter. The brain shifts toward urgency and practicality, and the world slowly feels smaller. Another thing I've been thinking about is why it's so difficult to get out of survival mode, even when you understand it's happening. Because from the outside, it sounds simple. Just focus, just stay motivated, just work on yourself. But when you are in it, it doesn't feel simple at all. Long-term uncertainty takes up a huge amount of mental space. Even when you are resting, part of your mind is still processing work, money, responsibilities, future decisions. It's like the brain never fully turns off. And over time, even normal tasks start to feel heavier than they should. Not because you are incapable, not because you are lazy, but because so much energy is being spent just managing uncertainty in the background. That's why survival mode can last so long, even for people who are capable, disciplined, and aware of what's happening. Because it affects attention, motivation, focus, memory, basically everything. And one thing I realized recently is what survival mode doesn't completely erase growth mode. It just becomes quieter. Even in times of stress and uncertainty, I still notice small parts of myself trying to plan, trying to improve things, trying to move forward. I still make schedules and try to take care of myself in the ways I realistically can right now. It's not what growth disappears, it just stops being the loudest voice. Survival mode gets louder because it has urgency. It reacts to what's happening right now. But growth mode is still there in the background, in small decisions, routines, in the way I still try to structure my life even when things feel uncertain. And I wonder, Do you think it's possible to stay in survival mode without losing that part of yourself completely? So I'm done for today, and I got 3 orders and made a little bit over $46 with tips. And that's it for today.